Josh Ochs is here to talk. He's going to talk about really social media and the impact it has on your life and how it can be positive and negative for that matter. So with no further ado, Josh, this is our 8th grade class. This is our last year here at Richmond. Give yourself a round of applause. Come on, guys. We're home stretchers.
How are we doing, 8th graders? Let's try that one more time. How are we doing, 8th graders? My name is Josh. I'm excited to talk to you today about social media, but let me start real quick. Before we get started, today I'm not going to tell you that social media is bad. I'm actually going to show you some tips on why you might consider being on it more, and I'll show you how to use it to impress people. You see, I ran for politics a long time ago, and I ended up getting really close to winning because I used Instagram, Twitter, and a few other tools to shine online. Your teachers and your administrators here are going to teach you how to shine in person. They're going to make you well-rounded people that get great grades. What I'm going to do today, and my goal by the end of this, is to teach you how to shine online. I'm going to teach you how to Google yourselves and how to post good, wholesome photos so that you know what your online image is. Here's me running for politics 5 years ago, shaking the hand of an officer. Here's me voting for myself on the day of the election. I was so nervous, my friends. And you will be too in high school eventually next year when you're starting to plan your future. And I want you to know that no matter how nervous you get, it's your online image that really matters and how you behave. And that's what I quickly learned in politics. You see, I was the youngest person on the ballot. I had very little money. Everybody was twice my age. But yet, using these digital tools that we all have in our pocket, these phones, I quickly realized that the thing that I had that no one else had was a really clean online image. So even though we had very little money, I figured out in a scrappy way I could get all my friends' bicycles together and put them all over the city and wrap my signs around them. And being young and scrappy is very good because then I could get people to notice and recognize my name. When they would go online, they would quickly learn, wow, this guy isn't half bad. Because I had testimonials and good online image, I'm going to show you today some of these tactical tips you as 8th graders can use over the next 4 years to make sure that, not so that you run for politics, but so that you use these tips to impress colleges and future employers. Now, I ended up writing a book about this called Light, Bright, and Polite. I got the opportunity to travel the country, training some of the world's biggest brands how to use this to impress customers. What I'm about to show you is a little bit of a different version of it, how to use social media to impress colleges and future employers. And there's my new book, Light, Bright, and Polite, the green version designed for you. Now, if you've ever wanted to get a job at one of these companies, what I'm about to show you we have used on every single one of these companies. Here's the company I used to work for. So I'm going to give you tactical tips on how to impress them. Josh, we're only in 8th grade. Now is the time to start. We need to get wise about our online footprint. It is a competitive marketplace that we're all in. And I want to make sure, by the end of this presentation, that every one of you gets the opportunity that I got at Disney Studios to say, you know what, we like this person. They shine online. They have a good GPA. Let's get them in here for a first round interview. This will work for colleges and future employers. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's do it. Raise your hand if you have an iPhone. Most of the room, raise your hand if in the last month you've used the Vine app. Great, it's only about 30% of us. How about Instagram? 50% of us. How about Kik or WhatsApp? Who's using Kik or WhatsApp? Raise your hand. About 30 or 40%. Who's using Snapchat? All right, half the room. How about Twitter? Raise your hand in the last month if you use Twitter. 25%. And how about Yik Yak or Whisper? All right. Now we get into the fun talk. Let's play a little game called Miley Cyrus versus Hannah Montana. Now, I don't need to tell all of you that these are really the same person. It turns out that Hannah Montana on the right is the on-screen TV personality that's wholesome, and Miley Cyrus happens to be the real-life, perhaps less than wholesome version of her. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at tweets tweets that perhaps Miley would send out and then tweets that Hannah would send out. The goal today is that Twitter and Instagram are good, and you should use them carefully crafting what you're putting out there. I'm not telling you to get off social media. What I am doing is showing you what the rest of the world sees, because while they're having fun on Twitter, I am going to be USC, UCLA, Stanford, or Harvard, and I'm going to comment in the background which one of them would get accepted based on them having the exact same GPA, both being good people, based on their Twitter results, because we all get seen at the end of the day on Google. Next, what I'm about to show you is how Miley Cyrus will upset her teacher, upset her coach, how she'll be dramatic, how she will upset the cheer team, and last, if you've ever wanted to know how to get fired with just one tweet, I will show you exactly the tweet that you can send so that you can get fired from one of the world's biggest companies. Okay, are we ready? This is pretty good, right? Great. First of all, Josh, how might I upset my teacher if I wish to do so on Twitter? Well, let's go to my BFF, Miley Cyrus, to ask her. She would say, Josh, this class is so lame, I'd rather be home sleeping. Now, we all want to be on social media. Sometimes we're tired, I get it. But what's another way to do this? Hannah would say, well, I'm ready for the weekend. Once again, social media is good. Twitter is fine, but which one is USC or UCLA going to like? Because they're both 4.0s. They're probably going to go this way. Next, Josh, how might I upset my coach? Well, you could be like Miley and say, the other football team sucks, I hope they lose. Or like Hannah, you could say, we're up by 24 points, go team. Now, good sportsmanlike conduct happens in the stands, in the field, and also on Twitter. Because every college, if you want a scholarship someday, or if you even don't, it's harder and harder. And eventually they'll go back to all your tweets and they'll say, who is this person based on what they're posting? Are they a good competitor in their attitude, much like they are in their grades? Next, Josh, how could I be dramatic on Twitter? Well, great, I've got just the tweet for you. Miley would say, hey, Steve, I'm glad we broke up. You're an idiot. You made me cry. Oh, Steve. Or you could say, I'm so lucky that I have great friends to support me, and then you could go over to the left tweet and perhaps text that to Steve directly instead of letting USC, UCLA, and Harvard know that you just broke up with Steve. Perhaps. Once again, today I do not tell you what to do. You're all adults in my eyes. You can do whatever you want on Twitter, Facebook, anything else, Instagram, but what I want you to do, and I know no one's on Facebook in here, I accidentally let that slide. Your parents are on Facebook though. Why are you not on Facebook? Because your parents are there. Now, what I want you to know, let me have your attention here for a second. What I want you to know is that today, going forward, what I'm about to teach you is how to manage your online reputation so that you, as an adult, you have the keys to a very important car, and that's a phone. Just about every person in this room raised their hand for an iPhone. The rest of you have an Android or something else. This, every day, is the keys to a very important car, and that's your future. I want to make sure you're using that wisely. So, next, and here's the last one I have for you before I teach you how to get fired. How to upset the cheer team. This is what Miley would say. She'd say, our cheer team needs help. Sally keeps falling. Poor Sally. Or we could say, I think next year I'm trying out for the cheer team. Now, what is Yale going to look for? Are they going to look for the part of the problem, the sad face, or part of the happy face, the solution? Perhaps if they're the same and they're weighted, they're both athletes, or they both know how to play the piano, or they're both known for something awesome and their applications are great, the last thing they go to is social, and they go, well, you know what, we'll probably pick something that's part of the solution. Now, I want to teach you how to get fired, but before I teach you how to get fired, raise your hand if you have a best friend in this room. Most of the class. All right. Let me tell you a little bit of a psychological reason why you might have a best friend in this room. It turns out when we're in close proximity with awesome people day in and day out, we end up finding great people to hang out with. And that's how we find best friends. You hang out all year with great people that are your age. You find somebody that's your best friend or your group of people. But what if I told you that there was an awesome company called Cisco that not only was great to work at, but they have 72,000 chances to find a best friend as you work there. No matter what the work is, there's lots of people to bump into on a daily basis. But not only that, there's 65 different countries you can travel to as you work for that company while you're bumping into awesome people in your career. And because there's 12 billion in revenue, there's a chance for you to have a salary that will pretty much pay for any iPhone you ever want in the future. And not only that, their technology is in 300 million of all TV homes or households nationwide, and it's really cool stuff. It goes in TVs and Wi-Fi routers and everything else. Pretty cool company. A lot of people, there's some money in it for you, and you get to travel, and the product that they make is pretty neat. Now, I want to show you how to get fired from this company. What I'm about to show you actually happened, and a young woman got a call one day, and they said, Cisco said, "Hello, young woman, we would like to hire you. We'd like you to come in the next few days. We saw your resume, we saw your application, we had you in for an interview, we really like you. We like what you bring to Cisco, the company. We'd like you to start with us." She said, "Wow, thank you, HR department, human resources. I would love to join you. Thanks a lot." She hangs up the phone. All is going well so far. What do you think happened next? She goes to Twitter. Here's the exact tweet that she sent out. She says, "Cisco just offered me a job. Now I have to weigh the fat paycheck against the daily commute and hating the work." Now, do you think that Cisco checks their name on Twitter even if you don't include the @ sign? You think they hear that? Yeah. They also hear it if you misspell it or if you talk about their other products. And here's why. The world's biggest brands and colleges want to make sure you're happy about their organization. And here's why. For Cisco, they make Wi-Fi devices and TVs and all kinds of different stuff. They want to make sure that if your product breaks, that they get you on the phone or they teach you how to use it properly so you don't tell 12 friends. That's right. Statistically, you'll tell 12 to 20 friends that you hate the product if you're upset. So they want to find you quick. So they're listening like crazy to the name of their company. Now, not just the HR department is listening, but also the social media division and people that love working there that feel as though the company is taking good care of them over the last few years. And what I'm about to show you is a tweet seen by somebody not in HR, not in social media, but just somebody that likes the company. And he writes this. He says, "Who is the hiring manager? I'm sure they would love to know that you will hate the work. We here at Cisco are versed in the web." Now, unfortunately, this young woman got a call right after that tweet, and the call went a little like this: "Hey, thank you, but we no longer would like you to come here and work at Cisco." Now, you're thinking to yourself, "Josh, this doesn't matter. She probably had a 4.0. She was an outstanding young woman. She'll get a job offer from all kinds of other places. Why are you bogging down on this?" Well, here's why. If you Google her name or those 3 underlined words that I have there, you get her Google results. And her resume now on Google, which is her resume, unfortunately is, you see this, the image of this instance was picked up by CNN, ABC News, NBC News, Huffington Post, Chicago Tribune. Now she has an uphill battle to change her image. Because when other companies Google her, which they will, to find the first page of their results, of her results, they will see the person that got fired with 1 tweet. So, this is where I want to share with you the 3 words to be safe before we ever go to Twitter. Once again, social media is good. We just need to have a little bit of a checkbox in our head. This checklist is, ask yourself before you press send, is this light? Is it positive? Is it fun? If it is, check. Is this bright? Is it smart? Think before you post. Am I going to get fired by Cisco? No. Okay, then it's check. And last, is this polite? Is this something I'm proud of my parents, my principal, my teachers seeing on social media the next day? Because stuff ends up public. If it is, if you're proud of it, then it's light, bright, and polite. Do you guys mind repeating light, bright, and polite with me on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Light, bright, and polite. Awesome. Josh, I'm on Snapchat a lot. Nothing gets shared. Well, let me show you my BFF, Kim Kardashian. You took a Snapchat of my screenshot, Josh. I trusted you. Raise your hand if this has happened to you or a friend. Raise your hand. Don't worry, I'm not looking. Okay. This happens every day at the school. Somebody snaps the screen. It turns out statistically, you're going to have your best friend accidentally get you in trouble more so than somebody that's mean at the school. How could that be? Because you're sending them so many Snapchat videos and pictures. You're being silly, you let your guard down. Let me show you a personal story about me and one of my friends. This is Blake. Blake sent me a happy birthday video Snapchat one day, and he said, happy birthday to you, and he sang it, but at the end, it said, hey, let's ditch work tomorrow. I'll call in sick. I'll lie to my boss, Josh, and we'll go surfing because the surf's huge in Malibu, and I live in Santa Monica. And I thought, oh, that's such a motivational happy birthday post or video that he sent me. Then I logged in with another app, and I downloaded the video, and I texted it to him on our iPhones. And I wrote, hey, this was my favorite video of the day, and a happy birthday. That's really nice of you. Thanks. He called me with this look on his face. He said, dude, what'd you just do? I said, well, you sent me a video and I sent it back. It's awesome. Thanks for the happy birthday thing. That's awesome, buddy. He goes, no, you don't understand, dude. You don't understand. Snapchat's logo is a ghost. It's supposed to disappear. They promised us that this stuff disappears. Unless it's in our story, then it stays for 24 hours. But that wasn't in a story. That was just for you. I said, yeah, well, it didn't. He goes, no, Josh, you don't understand how creepy this is. You downloaded a video, you sent it to me, but yet when I log into Snapchat, it shows that you never even viewed it, let alone you downloaded it, let alone now you can watch it 1,000 times instead of just once. So I said, yeah, no big deal. Do you want to post it on my Facebook page? I thought that was really motivational, really nice of you. He said, no, you don't understand, Josh. I told you that at the end of the video that I would ditch work, lie that I was sick, call in sick, and we would go surfing. I'm basically lying to my employer on video. Don't post that. So without me even knowing, I would have posted a happy birthday song, and his employer, who I might be friends with on Facebook or somewhere else, would have seen that. I could have gotten him in big trouble. Same thing happens every day in this room, so we just need to be careful. Is there a downside to sending a Snapchat? It's okay to send snaps, but will this get that person in trouble or myself? Now, Josh, I go to a lot of events. I'm kind of popular. I'm in 8th grade. I'm the oldest person in this school. Well, let me share with you a tactical tip that you can use at events, at parties, at school functions that might actually help you on Instagram. Now, I know nobody in this room cares about popularity or likes, but I needed it when I was in politics. I needed every like and every view I could get to try and get close to winning the race. Even though I lost by a few hundred votes, I got really close. And the incumbent mayor, who's now a good friend of mine, was really afraid that we were going to win. So, let me show you a tactical tip I used in politics that might just work for you in college or in high school next year to impress colleges. Here's what I did. I would volunteer my phone during a group project or a group picture, and I would say, hey, here's my iPhone, friend. You want to take a group photo? Great. The app is open, and I would give it to somebody. I would jump into the middle of the photo, and I'd put my arms around everybody, and I'd have a great picture. That way, at the end of the night, I am the one with all the photos on my phone, and instead of somebody else posting a bunch of stuff, I get to be the brand manager, and I get to decide which one of the photos we don't look like we're partying in or dork or silly, but rather the one where we all, not only I look great in the middle, but my friends look great around me. I look good there, right? The point is, going forward, you need to manage your online reputation just as much as you need to manage your GPA. Your GPA is step one, and at college in the next 4 years that you will be applying in about 4 years. The college is going to look at the last 4 years and wonder if your online application doesn't have, or if your Google results don't have what your application does, they're going to wonder, is this person different? And that's where we get into the next step. Every one of your posts is like a button on the elevator. It either takes you up or it takes you down. Everything, and that's why you have to ask yourself, where is this going? Is this going to help? Because I want all of you to get that in-person chance to interview. Raise your hand if you've searched for yourself in the last month. Okay, who's searched for their parents? Raise your hand. Have you searched your parents' name? More of us search for our parents' names sometimes. Okay, hands down. I normally only share this with high schoolers. Do you guys want to see how to manage your Google reputation? I was going to skip over this. You want me to show it to you? Okay, good. Perfect. Great. I'm going to move quick. Let me show you how I searched for myself incorrectly in politics. I learned the hard way. I'm going to give you some secret tactical tips. If you go to Google and you're in Chrome or you're logged into Gmail, you see my little face up in the upper right? That means, hey Josh, what's up? You're logged in. That means I'm logged into Gmail, YouTube, or Chrome. They were all three owned by Google. And Google's job in the world is to take the world's information and make it easy for us to find stuff around a subject like myself. So when I search for myself, logged in, I'm seeing results like this that are actually inaccurate, and here's why. Colleges will really see different results because they're not logged in under Josh's name searching for the topic of Josh Ochs. Google's giving me personalized results on the left based on what I've shared in the past, liked, and all kinds of other stuff. In fact, there's certain results on the right that don't even end up. And then there's photos. What do you think a college is going to click on first? Probably those photos. So our goal is to learn when we Google ourselves or search online, how can we see the Google that our college will eventually see or our principal so that we can manage our online image both logged in and logged out, and we're very aware of what our first page of Google results looks like, because that's really your new resume. It's not just your application you turn in. It's not a PDF of your accomplishments. It's what the internet says about you. So let me show you how to do that. First of all, if you use Chrome at home on your computer or Firefox or Safari, here's Chrome on the right. Click on your little settings button and go to New Incognito Window. If you use Firefox, go to New Private Window in the upper left. If you use Safari, it's the same thing, New Private Window. If you use Internet Explorer, well, we need to talk, because probably your parents are using that. So let's, those are the two techniques. Josh, what does New Private Window or New Incognito Window mean? Very good question. When you click on them, they go to the same place. They do this. Well, actually, let me pull back for just 1 second. Say, there's two ways to search like a college would search. One, you could log out of all of your accounts. You could log out of Instagram, out of Gmail, log out of YouTube, or anything else. And then you could go to Google and search. But that's exhausting because then you have to remember all of your passwords. But if you use these techniques, for just one window, you get this. You see how all my tabs are still in the back? You get this one window with the little creepy spy guy with glasses, and he says, hey, for this one little window, I'm going to hide all of your cookies. And you get to run around the web, and you get to hit Google, and they don't know who you are. They ask you to sign in. It doesn't mean you can break the law. It just means we're hiding your cookies, and we're going to let you search for yourself in a way that, oh, colleges see me this way. Huh. It's missing one result. It's got images. Cool. And then if we click on the images, we get to look at the 4 different versions of Josh's Google results. What are those 4? Well, let's talk about mode number 1. Mode number 1 is, do you fit in the party mode? If a college sees your images that they click on, like what we just clicked on, do you have a bunch of red cups? Now, we all know that if you have red cups, sometimes a college is going to look at that and probably say, wonder what's in that cup. Do you think it's water? Probably not. Right. Next, are there tons of photos that are just silly and off topic? I'll show you exactly what that looks like. And then next, do you fit into the mode that is, who is that? Raise your hand if you've searched for yourself and random other people come up. I'm going to show you how to overcome that. If you pay attention, I'll give you a tactical tip on how to fix that. And I'll tell you a little tip in a sec. The last mode, and I want all of us to move towards mode number 4, which is positive and on topic. That's light, bright, and polite. I'll show you one of my mistakes, even though I'm in mode 4. The best of us make mistakes, so we're gonna make fun of me for a moment. First, Josh, what does it look like if I'm in party mode? Well, first of all, everyone in this room is super wholesome, and you're gonna have the best online image. but who you hang out with in high school next year makes a big impact on your Google results because you're so tied in person with them. You might get tagged in a couple photos. When people Google you, they might come up. So you not only need to manage your reputation, you need to manage the reputation of some of your friends. And if they're in party mode, we got a problem. In fact, if somebody Googles you and they find your friend dressed as a red cup, holding a red cup, running down the street, you might be in the party mode version of your Google results. So we need to be careful. That's why when you Google yourself, if you see a bunch of red cups, you need to have a talk with the friend that's in the red cups, have them remove it. One little tip, if you see one of these, if you click on it, it goes to the site that hosts that. So you can ask your friend to take it down. Now I know nobody in here would have that, but let's move into silly and irrelevant mode, selfie mode. This is Miley Cyrus, one of my best friends. Do you think it's appropriate for that a college sees Miley Cyrus in a bathtub with sunglasses on, sticking her tongue out? Does that mean? Yeah, exactly. Next, who are these people? This is when we Google ourselves and we find a ton of other random people. I'm going to show you how to get over that. So when you search for yourself, all kinds of good, wholesome content comes up. Now you should be asking yourself, Josh, do I really need to be public on social media? The answer is no. Once you're in high school, you can have that talk with your parents when you're ready, maybe 15 and a half, maybe 15. Whenever you're ready and you want to publicize your Twitter and your Instagram, I'll show you how to overcome this because colleges will search for you. If they find a ton of other random people, let's say I was applying for USC, if they find a bunch of other random people that kind of look like me, let's say that kind of look like me, right? Doesn't, but they're like, hey, kind of looks like a Josh. Let's click on that. They could go down that and all of a sudden see, oh, that Josh has a bunch of red cups. That Josh is a big dork. Well, I really am a big dork, but you get the point. They go down that rabbit hole and you don't have an online image that they can latch onto and learn from. So we need to make sure eventually you do have an online image. And then last, here's positive and relevant. This is mode number 4 that I hope that all of you end up into. This is me in politics, volunteer. There's my dog and I. This is me teaching marketing advice to brands. But why is there a baby dressed as Harry Potter on my Google image results? That's kind of odd. Well, here's why. Turns out a couple years ago, I was on Pinterest trying to get into it, and I created a board on Pinterest that's titled Adorable Things Worth Sharing. And in that board, it made total sense to put puppies and babies dressed as Halloween outfits because it was Halloween time. And when people would pin things, I would repin them into that board, which is a folder. It made total sense, and it was really cute. But do you think it makes total sense when a college Googles me and they get all this stuff and they see baby dressed as Harry Potter? Probably not in this context, and that's why we need to be really, really careful. If we pin things anywhere or like them or post them, it can change your Google results, which changes the context in which people see. I'm going to show you how to flood your Google results with good, wholesome stuff that impresses just about any college or future employer in a second. Okay, do you feel comfortable, and this is my next question for you, printing out your college, your Instagram or your Twitter profile, even if it's private, and going to a college and saying, hey, you've seen my application, you know what I look like during the week, you know what I look like on paper, but let me show you what I look like on the weekends. This is me babysitting my nephew, or this is me traveling, or this is me volunteering. Do you feel comfortable doing that? If you don't right now, it's okay. We have plenty of time as a freshman and sophomore to fix that so that when you're a junior, you're applying to college, you can show them stuff, right? You need to have good online results. Now I get into the most fun part. These are my last 5 slides. You're probably asking yourself, okay, Josh, lots of other people come up when I Google myself. You're talking to me about that social media is good. What can I do for the rest of my 8th grade to make a positive impact to impress others? Well, let me show you what some of my friends do online. If you've ever wanted to work at the world's biggest digital agency, be like my friend Camille right here as she goes to the Dodgers game and posts this on Instagram. Thanks to my friends for inviting me to join them in these great seats. Go Dodgers. Notice it starts with thanks. Next. If you've ever wanted to be on KTLA News and talk to millions of people and teach them technology, be like Rich here. Rich says thank you to Shelter Hope Pet Shop. for letting us share some of our tech tips with you. Keep up the great work helping these dogs find loving homes. He's not talking about himself volunteering. He's saying thank you to the organization for giving him the opportunity to share his message. So we see a thank you and a thank you. Next, if you have ever wanted to work at Disneyland and run their social media on the park at Disneyland every day, be like my friend Lisa right here, who posts an awesome Instagram picture of her volunteering one day with her coworkers, and she says, "Special thanks to my team at Disneyland Parks for all that they do to make dreams come true at the most magical place on earth." And last, if you, my friends, have ever wanted to run for the Miss America pageant, be like my friend here, Miss Utah. Thank you to my friends who supported me over the last year in the Miss America pageant. With their help, I can represent Utah and teach kids nationwide how to set their goals. Do you see the thank you to either my friends or an organization and so on? Well, let me show you a senior in a high school that we caught doing something right, and I genuinely hope all of you get caught posting something awesome. This is Elise. Elise posts something one day. She says, "I'm so proud of my BVHS Tigers. Shout out to Chance for being my favorite player and best friend." Now, Chance is going to apply to colleges, probably for an athletic scholarship. Colleges will Google them. Every college does. I know from the deans of many colleges, they say, "We Google everybody, Josh." Do you think Chance is going to be proud of that image being shown? There's no peace sign. There's no tongue sticking out. She's saying, "Thank you, I'm proud of him." Yeah, he's going to be pretty proud of that. He's going to be proud of a college seeing that. Next, one day, the Wi-Fi went out. And a lot of us, when the Wi-Fi goes out, that means, or the power went out. And if the power goes out, the Wi-Fi goes out, and that's a little bit of annoying for us. But instead of complaining, here's what Elise posted. She said, "So I'm so thankful to have such a great family. I had a great day even with our power outage. Hashtag 'tis the season." And do you know what a college is going to say about that? Do you know what Harvard or UCLA will say about this? They'll say, "Wow, in our dorm rooms, the power goes out once a month. If this is how this young woman complains when the power goes out, we need to get her in here for a first-round interview immediately. We need complainers on our campus like that." Next, one day she went to visit her college that she got accepted to, but she wasn't already going there. She was just touring the dorm rooms before she moved in. She posts this: "I had so much fun on my college visit to KU today. I'm so excited for next year." Now, we all saw how you can get fired with one tweet by Cisco. Some of the world's biggest brands are listening. Do you think colleges are listening to people that are on their campus taking pictures and photos around their mascot? Yeah. Notice how she's pretty classy around that. Do you think that they might make a phone call to her if she was very inappropriate to that mascot even before she started? Perhaps, yeah. They only want the best. Next and last, this is my last photo I'm going to share with you. A young man named Jonathan knew so very much the colleges were going to search for him and look at all of his social media files that he used his real name on Twitter because he knew he can't compete with everybody else. Even though he had good grades, he knew it was hard. And he posted one tweet. It was handwritten, and it says this. It says, "Dear colleges, please accept me. I'm a good person. Sincerely, Jonathan." And the text in the message below the tweet said, "Finished my college apps." Colleges picked this up and ended up using him as a good example. I picked him up and shared this young man named Jonathan with 20,000 people. So you can either tweet in a way to get fired, or you can tweet in a way to get accepted someday in college. Now I want to show you my formula. We have to volunteer somewhere. You have to live a life that's light, bright, and light in order to post good content like you see these people doing. So you can volunteer at Habitat, a hospital, senior home, Red Cross, or you can be lazy and just grab a friend and walk a neighbor's dog. And then here's my secret formula. Take a classy group photo while you're volunteering. Say thank you to this organization or to my friends for giving me the opportunity to do this activity. Thanks to their help, here is the outcome. When you post a message like that, I promise you that any of the world's best brands or any college that I've talked to or any college nationwide that I've spoken at will love that kind of humble message so that you can show that you're putting your best foot forward to shine online. I want to thank all of you for coming out. My name is Josh Ochs. Thanks for having me out. Keep it life right and left.